Hey guys, welcome back. You're at the Thrifty Journal Shop. My name is Amber. If you are new here, hello. So happy you have stopped by today. For all of you guys that keep coming back, you guys are the best. All right, today I've got 3 Christmas glue books, and then I've got 3 Christmas junk journals. If you are seeing this video, they are all listed in my Etsy shop. So I am going to do a flip through of all 6 of them. If you hang out until the end, I have 3 other ones I'm going to show you that I plan on having within the next couple weeks. I'm trying to have all of my Christmas journals ready to go by the week of Thanksgiving. I also have some from last year that I'm going to be doing another video, like a flip through, because I've added some things to them. So stay tuned for that. All right, let's do the 3 junk journals first. So there are similarities in all 6 of these, and I will point them out as I do the flip through. They are all going to come with a goodie pack. Well, I should say the glue books are going to come with more of a goodie pack because they're less embellished, but all 6 of them are going to have the same fodder, handmade fodder, collage fodder by me, and I will show you one of those because they're all somewhat similar. Let's go through the little ephemera pack that all of these are going to have. So in all 6, you are going to get a snowman of some type. You will have a Santa Claus. You're going to have 3 different styles of, I think there's 3. Is there 3 or 4? There will be 4 little Christmas trees. So you're going to have a little Christmas tree with a star, this little type of Christmas tree, another little tree, and then some type of tree maybe with lights. They're all a little bit different, but you should have 4 trees. You are going to have a larger type of bear. I'm working on some videos with my stamps. This is actually another bear stamp that I made, a larger one. And some of them might have coffee cups or hearts. So you'll have a larger bear. You're going to have Rudolph or a reindeer. Not all of them have a red nose. I think a few of them might have a darker nose, but most of them have red noses, so it'll be a surprise. You're going to have a vintage tag, a Holly Hobby vintage tag. You're going to have another tag of some sort, a little thing of stickers here. There should be 4 stickers, a Christmas card. These are not vintage. These are just leftovers from a few years ago. I think they're really cute though, with the dog and the barn. Could always cut that out. And then this one has 2 sheets of stationery. So all of these are going to have 3 sheets of stationery, these 2 and a snowman, but they might be tucked throughout the pockets. I just put these in this little bag here because there was not enough space in the pockets. So all of these little packs are going to come with all of the fodder and tags and stickers. And then the leftover sheets of stationery might be in here, or they might be in the pockets. All right, so let's take a look at this one. This is the Snowman and Christmas Junk Journal. This is 11 1/4 by 10. They all have 3 signatures, and I have the same amount of pages in all 6 of them. There is 20 pages giving you 40 front and backs in each signature. You should have a total of 120 pages. I did not go out and buy anything for these. I'm using my stash, which I love doing. So I have very limited scrapbook paper, but I've got tons of wallpaper. So I've been trying to just use what I have. I did purchase some fabrics from Maddie's live sale because I didn't have any Christmas fabrics. So I just love this fabric right here, and it's got the snowman. And I did get some trims from the Dollar General because I was out of Christmas trims, but everything else, guys, I am using my stash. I just love how this one turned out. It's just such a pretty book. Now, this journal does have the original book pages. They're not all in order, and some of them I've given as extras in here for you to play with. So I tried to pick out some really color coordinating wallpapers to go with it. Here is some really large rickrack that I just placed over my chain stitch. They have a flexible spine like I like to do. There was a little bit of a mark here. So I just covered this with some tag that I had from a teacher's kit. I signed it. I left the covers as is. I just thought the blue was really pretty and the book jackets were in really great condition. And then here's just a few of the extra pages. They wouldn't fit in the pockets, but I will give these to you with the journal. Just such a pretty book. The pages in here, I think the colors are just beautiful. So non-traditional, which I like, is just the blues and the purples and just such a pretty book. Okay, let's start the flip through. So you're going to have wallpaper with some lace. I think I put a piece of lace in all of these. This was recently from some Happy Mail from Tracy. The original book pages, they're all going to have some painty papers, and I tried to color coordinate them with the book. So this has purple and pink. I added some snowman related pages. So I had a bird coloring book, and I just thought that was cool. They're all going to have some different types of playing cards in here, either in the journal or included in the journal. So I thought that was pretty. Here's that other sheet of stationery that we're all going to have, which is a snowman, wallpaper, construction paper, some more really pretty wallpaper. And then I did make a pocket with some more fabric with snowman. They're all going to have like a vintage recipe card. I just sewed some lace. There's going to be pages from all of these journals sort of in here. The clue books, I think. This is one from the cookie book. Just some children's book pages with snowman, vintage cookie book, more of that wallpaper. And then all of these, I did get some little playing cards that I had. And they're all going to have a snowman and a coffee cup. So you'll either have one as a tuck, or I just gave it as extras. And they're all going to have a red doily. Put a red doily in all of them. Original book page, wallpaper, more of the bird book, sprayed paper. So these take some time when I put these together because I elongate my pages. I hinge them all together. Either using construction paper or offcuts. You're going to have some really pretty trims. This is some sheets. This is some more that I got from Maddie's live sale. This is the second signature, more wallpaper, more trims, original book page. There will be a piece of Monopoly money in all of these that I sewed here. All of the junk journals, I don't think I put them in the glue books. Coloring book pages I've included in all of them. More wallpaper. Isn't that pretty? Just all the colors go really cool. Here's some extra pages from the original story. This is some cool paper I got thrifting. I just thought the colors were really pretty. Looks like it's embossed with stars. Scrapbook paper, trim, original book page. I did like a fabric flip here with some of the snowman fabrics. These were some pages from the original book. This is from a little golden book. I put a cluster in all of these somewhere. I just thought that was cute with the snowman. Original book page, that's stationery. They're all going to come with a sheet from my vintage cake decorating magazines I'm in love with. So you're all going to get a sheet from that that's Christmas related. This one has a snowman one. And all of these I either glued or sewed a little tree that I made of fodder. So you're just going to have that. Coloring book page, atlas, original book page. In the junk journals, I went through and I found this was in a teacher's kit. So I tried to have something that was winter related. So here is the jacket and just added a little cluster. Third signature, I did have some scrapbook paper. So I added that with the snowman, some more trim, original book page, wallpaper, pocket. In all of these, I included a like 6x6 sheet from a pad, from a scrapbook pad I recently got from Caramia. So you'll have one of those. Painty paper. This is from an Ideals, a vintage Ideals. I included a sheet in all of these. I just thought that was really pretty with the strawberries or the raspberries. Cake book, They're all going to have a page of this. I don't have it out right now, but this is some wallpaper that you can paint or color. I actually used my watercolors and some acrylics. It turned out really pretty. So you'll have a page of that, original book page, more trims. They're all going to have a manila envelope, and in all of these, I did some painting on them. And then inside the manila envelope, it's going to vary, but you should have some random stickers. And then this one has a little snowman. Here's the little jacket that went with the word jacket. And here's the other playing card that you're going to have. I just thought those were cute with the little cup. Original book page. There's that wallpaper, the cookie book, construction paper, ideals, painty paper, then another pocket with wallpaper, and I included some of the offcuts. So all of these are going to have offcuts if I use the wallpaper in the book. And then all of these are going to come with a little CD carrier. These are from Tracy. And you can embellish or decorate that. There's some more trim, original book page, and then we're at the back. Here's some stationery, and there's your extra book pages in your fodder pack. Just such a sweet, sweet journal. I love this trim and just all the colors. So that is the snowman at Christmas. Okay, the next I have is 10 on the sled, and this is 11 by 11. Here is your fodder pack with all of the same things, okay? And then here's some extra pages from the book. This does include some of the story. And then here is the jacket that I'm going to send with you, the book jacket, so you'll have that. So those will come with the journal. Let's look at the spine here. This is some fabric I also got from Maddie. I just thought it was beautiful. And here's some really vintage trim I also got at a live sale. So I added that. I just think that is gorgeous. This also has 3 signatures. Same thing, 20 pages, 40 front and back, 120. Okay, you have that wraparound flexible spine. I love this fabric with the angel. Just thought it looks really pretty with this cover. All right, let's take a look inside. So this also has this really pretty blue wallpaper that was inside the snowman. So there'll be some offcuts in here also as long and in this one. So I did add it to the cover, and then I gave you some fabric pockets here. And here's just some of the offcuts of wallpaper. Here is that snowman sheet of stationery. And then let's take a look in the back. Here's some more offcuts of wallpaper. There's that 6x6 sheet of scrapbook paper. Okay, wallpaper, trim, construction paper, original book page. Another children's book, Christmas children's book. This is from a vintage cookbook. Added some trim. There's your Monopoly money. Just love this wallpaper. Your coloring book page, original book page. Here is your manila envelope that I painted. And then inside here is some of your stickers. And then there is a sled, a little saying with a sled in here. So I added that. Here's your little playing card. Whoops. Okay. More trims here. Coloring book page. That recipe page. Original book page. It's not in order. I just added it as is. Construction paper, some trim. Second signature, wallpaper, the original book page. Some stationery. I think I included this stationery in all of them. An atlas page. Here is a flip that I added. This is a vintage sheet. Craft book paper. I thought that was really pretty with the angel. You could always color that. Ideals. There's that wallpaper that you could paint. Painty paper with some trim. There's that lace. This is from a vintage children's book. The pages are nice and thick. original book page, painty paper. Here's some more offcuts of wallpaper. Here's another sheet of the vintage stationery, ideals, more craft paper, and then I did sew the little snowman, and there's your red doily, atlas, original book page, some sheet. This is your third signature, so there's lots of wallpaper in here. I didn't have like hardly any scrapbook paper, so I was just using what I have, and I just have so much pretty wallpaper, and it just works out well. There's a pocket. Here's your vintage cake decorating magazine page. There's your little sleeve, painty paper, cookbook page. This is from a children's book. This is some Franken paper. I took some of the offcuts from this journal and just sewed them together. Some trim. There's your little fodder, your little tree fodder. Love this scrapbook paper. And then there is the pocket. Here's your vintage recipe card. It's just textured. It's so nice. There's your fabric cluster, just using some scraps. So you've got lots of room to create in here, add photos, you know, make it your own. I love how these turned out. There's your other sheet of stationery, more offcuts of wallpaper. Then you've got this wallpaper. I just made a pocket using the other wallpaper. And then there is your back pocket. So you have lots of pockets. So pretty. I just love that. 10 on the sled. Okay. Then I have this little sweet junk journal. I just thought it was perfect. A perfect little piglet. I thought the cover was really pretty for Christmas. So here is your fodder pack. Okay, this one is a little smaller. This is 10 1/4 by 9. This also has 3 signatures. This was some fabric that I thought just fit really pretty with it, with the pink and red. And then I used some red binding twine here. There are 5. This is a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. All of them have that just for extra security. Love this trim here. There was some a little bit of a marking here, so I just added this Christmas tag there. 120 pages and throughout the whole thing. The inside of this book was yellow, so I wanted to make it more match the spine, so I added some pink wallpaper. So you have that, and then I made these just really pretty pockets with some trim. Back here is your 6x6 sheet of scrapbook paper, and then the offcuts of some of the stationery. You're also going to get the extra pages from the book. I did include some of the story in here, and there's the rest of it. Okay, here is your CD holder and your sheet of stationery. That really pretty wallpaper that you can paint. Did find some scrapbook paper that had some snowflakes. I thought that was pretty. Original book page, some trim, coloring book page. This is from a vintage little golden book, cookbook page. Here is your manila envelope all painted. And then inside here, you're going to have your stickers. Here's your little snowman playing card and the other little playing card. So just a variety of pages in here, hinged together with some scrapbook paper. Now here is the word hat. I don't think I pointed this out. So here is sled. And then you had the little picture of the sled. So this, I went back to this 10 on the sled. I thought it was cute. I found the word sled, added this little cluster, and then you have the little picture of the sled. I think I missed that on the flip through. So here is the hat, and then I added a little cluster. Okay, I've got painty paper, original book page. This is from some type of vintage book with the Thanksgiving. There is your Monopoly money. There's a little tuck here because I sewed that onto this just to extend the page. So you do have a little tuck. There's that pretty wallpaper. Second signature. Just thought this was really pretty with all the pinks and orange. You have a pocket. Here's your other 2 sheets of stationery. And then this time I sewed the little coffee cup on here. And there's your red doily, painty paper, original book page, trims, I added some stationery that I recently got from Tracy. There's your cluster on this really pretty wallpaper. More stationery. There's the ideals page. This is from a vintage cookbook. I just added some wild pink duct tape there. There was a little rip. Such a pretty journal. Added some lace. Painty paper. There is a pocket, and then here's the offcuts of the wallpaper from the cover here. Third signature, more wallpaper. There's your little tree fodder. This is from the front jacket. This is what I covered up. This paper, this color was in the cover. It's from another little Christmas children's book, cookbook, construction paper, some more fun stationery from Tracy. I just thought it was really pretty with all the colors. More wallpaper. Love this scrapbook paper with the stars. Another little pocket, and I need to tuck something in there. Oh, this is some fun paper. It's like nice and soft, so you'll have those. I always love to add stuffed pockets in all my tucks for you to play with and create construction paper, recipe paper with this beautiful trim. More trims. And then I did find a Pooh card in my stash, and so I sewed that. And then here is your vintage cake decorating Christmas page. And now we are at the back. And then there's your fodder pack and the extra book pages. All right, a perfect little piglet. Such a sweet little junk journal. All right, let's go on to the glue books. All right, first one I have is Cookies for Christmas. Okay, so these are a little bit different. All right, so in the pack here, you're also going to get the exact same fodder pieces, and then you're going to get maybe more of the stuff that was stuffed in the pockets, because this one doesn't really have a whole lot of pockets in it. So you'll have all of the same stuff. And then I included some of the original book pages from this book, and then from just some other vintage cookbooks or glue books I've made in the past. I just gave you a variety of fun papers to play with. So you'll have this nice little goodie bag kit to use in your glue book. And I'll put a fancy little sticker and wrap it all up for you. All right, so this is what this one looks like. So this is a vintage book. I cleaned it up the best that I could here. Okay, and then I had this gold trim, and I just thought I would add this really pretty ribbon I had in my stash with the cocoa. I thought it looked really cute with the cover here. So this is Better Homes and Gardens Cookies for Christmas. This has 3 signatures, same thing, 120 pages. I did add this little tag here. I was trying to cover up the barcode in the back, and then you've got your red ties here. So the insides were a bit rough in this book, so I did add some wallpaper. I added this trim here, and then I just gave you some fun pockets. And then here are some of the offcuts of the wallpaper I used in the book. And then the back here, you have pockets. So I like pockets in all of my journals and my glue books. It's just a nice place to put things that you want to use in the journal or glue book. I signed it right here. Here's your other piece of stationery. Here's that 6x6 scrapbook sheet, more offcuts, okay? And so you're going to have just some Christmas pages, construction paper, craft book paper, some of the original book pages, or some from the other cookbooks. This is from another vintage children's book. Here's that wallpaper that you can paint. This is from one of the other glue books I made. I just think this is such a fun size. Here's your manila envelope. So I did put a manila envelope in all the glue books with painted with acrylic paint on there. You're going to have some stickers, and then here's your 2 little cards. Were in the other ones. Okay, this is just really cool. You could write here, wallpaper. So a lot of fun pages, construction paper. I gave you a lot of full-size sheets in here, all different size papers though. This was from another children's book that I had, Christmas, second signature. wallpaper. Just look at those colors. All the glue books have a coloring book page. This is some of the original page. So the sheets were a little bit, I guess, weathered. Love this wallpaper with the pine cones. This is from a vintage craft book. So those are just really cute with the dogs. More of the original book page. So you have tons of spaces to glue. I love those little teacups. Okay. Third signature, here's that stationery, your painty paper. This is from A Night Before Christmas, another vintage book. More wallpaper. Here's another pocket. And then there's your vintage stationery, wallpaper, craft book, more sprayed paper. There's your Ideals book, page from an Ideals. Here's from the vintage little golden book, I think. There's more of the Ideal. I tried to include one that had cookies. Wallpaper. There's another little pocket. Here's your little snowman stationery. And then there's your vintage cake decorating magazine page. Painty paper. Love all the colors. And then the scrapbook paper. And then that is the back. Okay. So that is Cookies for Christmas, Better Homes and Garden. Just such a sweet little glue book with your goodie pack. Okay, and then I've got two Southern Living ones. This one comes with the same type of thing. There's your fodder, your pack, and then here's some of the original pages from just a bunch of different books that I have. So you'll have that. I really love the cover of this one. It's so pretty. So this is Christmas with Southern Living 1987. It is 11.5 by 9.5, and then I did this really pretty fabric. I thought that was really pretty with this trim, and the trim just kind of matches the cover here. Same thing, 120 pages front and back. I did add this little tag here. There was just some markings on the book, so I just covered that up with the Santa tag. Okay. And then the inside looked really great, except there was a few little spots here. So I just added, this is a vintage tag, and then I just added this little snowman. I added this fun little trim right here. I thought that was just really pretty just to cover the chain stitch. But the covers, the bright red, just are beautiful. So same kind of things in here with the variety of papers. I did find some scrapbook paper that I had. You're going to have wallpaper, original book page. So cute. Sprayed paper. You're going to have coloring book pages, more wallpaper. Here's your painted manila envelope. And then inside here are your stickers and then your two little fun playing cards. Wallpaper, cookbook page, painted paper, original book page. Just thought those were really pretty with, you know, the colors. Wallpaper. This is from another Southern Living cookbook. I love the months, how you can color that. Second signature, wallpaper, pocket. There's your vintage cake decorating Christmas page. Little golden book. This is from a craft book. This is some, I think, from this original book. There's your wallpaper that you can paint. Stationery, craft book page, another vintage cookbook, stationery, pretty wallpaper. I love this wallpaper. It's just really pretty. Made a pocket. Here's your vintage recipe card, the other sheet of stationery. The third signature, I just think this is just beautiful wallpaper. There's your red doily, your other sheet of stationery. And The Night Before Christmas page. This one has a bird book page. This is some of the original book page. This is nice and thick. I just think it's beautiful. This is from the Ideals vintage book. Love that with Santa. This is from another, the other Southern Living cookbook page. Painted paper, wallpaper. So just so much fun in here. Love this. The Ideals. So pretty. There is my painted paper. Bird book page. The Night Before Christmas. Then we're at the back. Here's that wallpaper. Another pocket. There's your 6x6 sheet of scrapbook paper, your other sheet of stationery, and then you'll have all the fodder and all the extra pages. That is the that is Christmas with Southern Living in 1987. All right, the last one I have, and this is just such a fun size. Here is your pack of extras from this book and the other ones. Here's your fodder pack. Okay, and this one is such a cute little size. This is 9.5 by 10, and this is some fabric I got from Miss Maddie from her live sale. I absolutely love it with the little Scotty dog. I thought it went really good with this cover, with these pine cones, and then I just added some red rickrack there. And this has 3 signatures, same thing, 120 pages. I left the insides here because it's just beautiful with the bright red. And then I added this really pretty trim to cover the chain stitch. A lot of the same pages in here. You're going to have original book page, some painty paper. I love this original book page with like all this writing space. That is just so cool. Wallpaper, construction paper, coloring book page. Here's your manila envelope, the vintage cookbook. I love this children's book. These pages are just so nice and thick. Okay, and then here's a manila envelope, and in here, same thing. You should have your little cards, some fun little stickers, Rudolph coloring book page, construction paper, wallpaper, original book page, painty paper, some scrapbook paper, second signature. I love this wallpaper. Made a pocket. There is your little snowman. Here is your sheets from the vintage cake decorating. Just so cute. You can cut those out. Construction paper, the original book page, painty paper, original book page. I did include a lot of the pages from this original book because they were just so cool. This is from a cute little children's book, Christmas. Here's your Ideals page. This is from the cookie book. There's that stationery piece. More Ideal. So pretty with the little birds. I love the little bear with the mailbox. So cute. Painty paper. Construction paper. Here is your pocket. Here is your vintage. I don't know if these are vintage. They look vintage. Here's your recipe card, your other sheet of stationery, and then your offcut of one of the pages in here. Isn't that pretty next to that? Third signature. Love this children's book too. Here is your red doily, your other sheet of stationery, and then your offcut of your wallpaper. This is some, I think this is from the original book page. I just folded it the other way. I love this cake. It's just beautiful. There's that wallpaper that you can paint or color. Yep, this is some of the original book page. And I just sewed this onto here just to extend it. This is from another vintage cookbook. More wallpaper. So much space in here, guys. Love all the reds and greens in here. Everything just worked out. I could like use my stash, which I love doing. I don't have a really big Christmas stash either. So for me, it's so fun when I can just pull from what I have and put it all together. And that's why I just love like the eclectic kind of look. This is your offcuts of your wallpaper, your 6x6 sheet of scrapbook paper, more offcuts in this pocket here. And we are at the back. Okay. And I did sign all of these, but if you always wanted to cover that up, it's usually in the bottom here. So that is Christmas with Southern Living 1981. Look at that spine. So much fun. Okay, guys, before we go here, I want to show you 3 more that I'm going to have. These are going to be first come, first serve, okay? And I'll talk more about these a little bit when I do the flip through of them, but these are my Snoopy ones that I made, and they are Christmas related. They are made out of paper sacks. They are big. They are like the size of my strawberry shortcake, but I added the handles because if you saw my paper bag with the cow I did for this series, I just loved it. So this is one of the ones I'm going to have. I have all the papers in here, but I haven't put them all together. So it's going to be this one. What I did is I used my laminator and I put fabric down and sort of did like a fabric scrap and then put Snoopy. He's got like a little present here. Just used some of my trims I had and more of the fabric, wallpaper. And then inside here, this is what the inside looks like. Okay. So I'm just going to show you the covers. Now this one, it was a special order one, so this one is reserved. I love the background of this one with the painty paper. This is more of like of a winter one with Snoopy with his hat. I might be doing some more like this, not with Snoopy, but with some bears, more art journal-y, winter type journals. So they won't really be Christmas themed, but maybe winter. They might be like cozy house couch journals. I don't know, I just made that up. So yeah, this one's really big here with this spine. And I just love this trim that I had here. Yes, I got the cards because I might do something with those to identify them. That's why I had those. And then I've got 2 of these style with Snoopy on his doghouse. I think one is just a little bit bigger. So I've got this one with the silver spine and this trim, the handles here. So cute. There's the inside. Love using the paper sacks. These are just kind of scrappy and fun. The covers, I love how they turned out. I love using my laminator because then I can just really make sure it's sealed and everything, and I don't have to use like a glue or anything like that, or a varnish. And then this one, I love this trim here. Same thing with the fabrics, and then this is the red spine. And then inside here, I just sort of mixed and matched and tried to find wallpapers that worked and fabrics. They all are going to have fabric pockets. They're all going to have like elongated pages, how I hinge all my pages together here, and just use like basically all of my scraps to make these, which in my mind, this is what a junk journal is. Like a true kind of junk journal is just like using stuff and piecing it together and just making it its own work of art. So I just wanted to show those to you. They will be available definitely by Thanksgiving. And then I do have 2 journals from last year that I'll be redoing a flip through, and I have 3 small candy box journals that I had last year, and I'm going to have those available soon again also. So thank you guys if you stuck around for this whole entire video. Thank you for the flip through. Thank you for always being here and leaving beautiful comments. And I appreciate all of you. I hope you find some sunshine. I hope you find some time to create for yourself. These 6 journals that I just showed the flip through, they are available in my Etsy shop. I'll leave all the details in the description box down below. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.